Sean Cooper is a personal finance writer, and he joins us now. So, Sean, congratulations.
Well, thank you, Diane. It's a pleasure to be here.
That's fantastic. But now, $170,000 down payment, and you were only 27. Where did all that money come from?
Yes, well, I started saving my down payment while I was still in university. A lot of students, I guess, graduate with university debt, but I worked during the summer, so I was able to save that money and use it towards paying off the tuition. And then I also worked 3 jobs during when I was going to school, so I saved that money towards my down payment. So I worked at a supermarket. I also did freelance writing, as well as I worked at the MBA office at my university.
Wow. And do you have now a really high-paying job that's allowed you to keep up these big payments?
Yes, I mean, I work as a senior pension analyst, and I also do freelance writing. I'm a personal finance writer, so basically I was earning the income of 2 people, and that's basically how I was able to pay down my mortgage so quickly.
It sounds as if you have had just one goal from when you started out of I'm going to own a house and I'm not going to be in debt. Is that a fair description?
Yes, I mean, home ownership was, of course, the first goal. Since I was younger and my parents owned a house, I've always aspired to own a house. And I guess with how expensive houses are these days, I didn't want 6 figures of debt hanging over my head. I mean, my mortgage is over $250,000. That's a lot for one person to handle. So my goal was, from a risk management perspective, to get rid of the debt as soon as possible, because you can't really depend on having a job for life with the way the economy is. So I didn't want to have to worry about if I lost my job, what I was going to do with my mortgage. So I wanted to pay it down as soon as possible and get rid of that stress.
But have you been able to have any fun these last 3 years, Sean? I mean, it just sounds like you've done nothing except work.
Well, I do make time for fun, because I definitely think it's important to have a work-life balance. But I mean, of course, I haven't had as much fun as a lot of people my age, but I was just so determined with this goal that, I set my priority of getting my mortgage paid down, and I still made time to hang out with friends and, a couple evenings a week, because, it wouldn't be healthy to, work all the time and not have any fun.
Yes, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, yes, my mother used to often say. But now, I don't know whether you're aware of this, but your story was posted on cbc.ca, our website, and it has been one of the most viewed and most shared stories. People just seem to be fascinated with this, I guess partly because you're so young, and you've been able to have this accomplishment. 14,000 shares on social media. But the comments are really split between people who are praising you and thinking you're just amazing, and people sort of criticizing you. What have you looked at some of the comments yourself?
Yes, I have. I find my stories very polarizing. Either people think, wow, it's amazing that he did this, or, I would never do anything like this. But I think it speaks to the broader issue of a lack of affordable housing in Canada's main cities like Toronto and Vancouver. The average price of a detached house is over $1 million. So, for one person to afford a house like that, it's pretty crazy. I mean, they recommend that you spend 35% of your income on housing costs, and I just don't think that's realistic. So, if you want to have your mortgage paid off at a decent amount of time, you have to go to, these extreme measures like working crazy hours. I mean, it would be nice. The government seems to, want to make more ways for Canadians to borrow money. Like during the election, they were talking about increasing the home buyers plan to $35,000, or making it, like the Liberals were talking about, making it easy to borrow money. But that doesn't really address the issue of housing affordability. It's just getting Canadians more in debt. So I'd like to see something related to, helping millennials and first-time home buyers afford homes, because it's just getting out of reach in Canada's biggest cities.
Now, are you still living in the basement and renting upstairs?
Yes, I mean, I guess a big mistake that some people make is that they buy houses that are too expensive, buy too much house. So for me, I'm happy with my situation, and until it makes sense to move upstairs, I'm perfectly content with staying in the basement. I mean, it's a 3-bedroom house upstairs, and I'm only one person, so I wouldn't know what to do with all those bedrooms. Rather than just, fill them with stuff, I'm perfectly happy with living in the basement and, putting the money towards savings.
What's your next goal?
I definitely like to, travel more and have more of a work-life balance, concentrate on my social life, and, maybe get married one day. But, that's out of my hands. It happens when it happens.
I would say you're going to be quite a catch, although your wife might want to have a little bit more fun along with you.
Definitely.
All right. Great to meet you, Sean. Thanks for
Okay.
coming in.
Thank you, Diane.